Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. So in this video, we are going to talk about the LTI recruitment process. So LTI is like a subsidiary company of Lawson and Turbo. Just recently, they had a takeover of company called as Mindtree. Right. So Mindtree is kind of now owned by LTI in some way. Right. So, first of all, the drive that is happening as of now is on campus. So they'll be only hiring via on-campus process. However, this is generally observed with LTI is, for example, they have a requirement of, let's say, 6,000 people or 10,000 people, right? So 70% of those they will hire via on-campus partners, the colleges with which they have better relationship, and then they will have an off-campus drive with which they will fill the rest 30% of the requirement, right? So there would be an off-campus drive as well, probably 1 month from now. So you can join our Telegram or Instagram or WhatsApp or LinkedIn, all of them. Whenever any drive happens, we will post it. Just recently, last night, I took a video and we posted the PayPal hiring as well, which pays you 24 lakhs. So that also is posted on our Instagram channel. So you can go and check out that as well. Right. So without wasting any further time, let's go ahead and understand the syllabus and the recruitment process of LTI. Okay, so there are approximately 35,000 people working in LTI as of now. So the requirement as per Prepistra's understanding would be that they would be looking to hire anywhere around 5 to 6,000 people, right? So let's say they'll give offer to 10,000 people and then they know that, okay, for a fact that, okay, only 60% of them join. So probably, I would say the offers would be given to 7 to 8,000 people in that case, right? So there are two different offerings, or there are two different packages that they are offering. One is called level 1, with which they are giving you 3.5 LPA, right? That is called as level 1. And then another one which is called as level 2 internally, wherein they are giving you 5 LPA, right? So if I'm to talk about the pattern of both of them. So for level 2, obviously you have to first supposed to clear the rounds for level 1 as well. So which are, you will have quantitative aptitude 10 questions, you will have logical reasoning MCQ 10 questions, you will have verbal MCQ 10 questions again, then technical MCQ 40 questions. So the number of or the total detailed analysis of what would be asked in each section we'll do a little later. Right now I'm just giving you an overview. Then there would be a paragraph writing section which would have 1 question, and then finally a psychometric test which would have a lot of questions. Time would be approximately 25 minutes, and then the number of questions may vary based upon your performance in psychometric. So, psychometric test, there's not a fixed number in terms of number of questions in most of the exams, right? So once you clear all of this, right, you would have, based upon your performance, you would also have level 2 assessment, which is basically one programming question and in any language of your choice. So generally the languages are C, C++, Java, Perl and Python. And the exam is hosted on Metal. Right, so we'll now talk about basic different things now in the next part of the video. Okay, so let's talk about a little about the eligibility criteria, and then there's a lot of hidden things regarding what LTI wants if you look at the eligibility criteria. First of all, BE, BTech, all branches are eligible, but they have mentioned non-CS and IT candidates must have good knowledge of IT concepts in order to appear for the process. So they are, kind of doing a favor for you, that okay, even if non-CS and IT branches are eligible, you will not be selected if you do not have experience of programming languages, if you do not know how to code. So again, this is something that they've mentioned in their eligibility criteria. Again, you should have 60% or equivalent CGPA above in your graduation, 10th and 12th. Again, 60% should be there. They are allowing you not more than 2 backlogs. So 0, 1, 2 backlogs are fine, given that you clear the backlogs in the given time before joining the company. If you don't do that, then you're not going to do, right? Then again, one more thing that they mention is date of birth should be after 1st of July 1997. Your college must be UGC or AICTE approved, right? So these are the basic things. That's pretty much about it. So now when we talk about the quantitative aptitude section, right, a lot of students already of Prep Insta have given the exam, and then we were like, some people have made videos already about the pattern, but we were like, no, there's no official confirmation about from the company. Is the last year's pattern going to be valid? So yes, the last year pattern was valid. So in that case, we were like, okay, we didn't make the video earlier, but now we've seen the exam, so we know the pattern and detailed pattern, right? So quantitative aptitude has 10 questions, most of which they are asking questions based on profit and loss, speed, time and distance, LCM, HCF, number system, probability, permutation, combination. So most of the quantitative aptitude they're asking. My team would show you a detailed topics of all the topics that they're asking. Then you have logical reasoning, again 10 questions. So in logical reasoning, again, the time given to you again is 10 minutes in both of these things, right? So 1 minute per question is what you are getting. Apart from that, what we have seen is the questions being asked from blood relations, from coding, decoding, from odd man out. They're asking you direction sense question, and the others my team would display on the side. Okay, so when we talk about the verbal section, again, just like the previous section, you have 10 questions and 10 minutes to solve it. In the verbal section, they're asking you mostly synonyms and antonyms, and these synonyms and antonyms are generally a little more difficult than usual. Then, spotting errors, fill in the blanks, all of those types of questions they are asking. My team would show you all the topics probably somewhere on the screen on the right side of mine, right? Then you have technical MCQ. Now, again, in this particular case, LTI does not care. So first of all, there is cutoff, there is sectional cutoff. So if you don't score well in this section and score really well in the other sections, you are not going to go in the next round. Or again, if you score really well in this section, but you don't score well in the logical reasoning section per se, you are not going to the next round, right? So again, when you have regarding the technical MCQ section, you have 40 questions and the time given to you would be 40 minutes again. So the topics that they're asking here would be object-oriented programming. Now this object-oriented programming is based on C++, right? Now then they're asking you programming basics, types of loops. So basics of programming from C, for example, arrays, memory, compilation, all of those. So these kind of questions are based on C. Then types of loops, so basically iterations, pseudocodes, all of those again based on C. Then they are asking you again pseudocode / algorithms which are based on C or C++ in case of if the pseudocode is object-oriented programming based, right? Then they are asking you basics of SQL and DBMS. Then they are asking you, so here SQL, even though they are saying basics of SQL, the point is these are not basics. So I have seen a few queries which are a little advanced even for a computer science or IT graduate. So in this case, if they have learned it probably, let's say in third year and they've not revised it, so you'll not be able to solve it. But again, if you revise it, then it's easy. Then they're asking you basic questions about operating systems. So for example, first in, first out, last in, first out, C-scan, all of those things, LRU catching algorithm, Bilady's anomaly, all of those questions like these, right? Now the next part is very easy, and in fact a lot of questions are asked from it, and I think which is I think is asked in reference to people who are non-CS and IT. Approximately 40% of the weightage would be for this particular part, and the rest 60% would be for the part that I've just spoken recently before. So the 40% of the part is basics of HTML, SDLC and computer basics and HTML as well. So for example, they are asking you, there was one question that I saw that they are asking you what is the full form of HTML. So this is easy. However, one question that they are asking about, joins and inner query and all of those, which is very difficult from DBMS. So then again, computer science part is a little difficult, but again this part is a little easy. So basics of HTML, SDLC like waterfall model, agile model, V model, iterative waterfall model, big bang, white box testing, black box testing, all of those as well. So you need to understand, you need to learn about this, not just for this but for the interview as well. Then again, once you clear this round, there is psychometric writing. So for example, in the psychometric part, you are supposed to write a paragraph the time given to you is 10 minutes, right? In this case, one of the students of ours was given list 3 things that you would do if you were of opposite gender for one day, right? So in this case, I am assuming that, okay, you have to also be very grammatically correct. You also need to structure your paragraphs into proper format. and also be right at the very same time. So right, so avoid writing that, okay, if I were, you know, a girl or I was a boy, I would do this thing, which would not be something correct to write in an exam. So, you know, I can't even explain it further. Just make sure that you write good things, right? Now again, you had psychometric test. Psychometric test again, I guess the time given to you is 20 minutes and the number of question varies, right? So psychometric test again, strongly agree, disagree and all of those, right? So once you clear this part, after this part, you have your level 2 assessment as well. So in the level 2 assessment, you have 45 minutes to solve this particular question, right? The languages allowed are C, C++ and Python. Right. So the one of the students of ours was asked this particular question. So just if you give me 1 second. So the question that he was asked was substring, and so basically longest common substring. So if, for example, if you are given X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then you are supposed to, and there is one more string, let's say E, F, G, H. So what you are supposed to do, you're supposed to find the longest common subsequence in A of B. So for example, you try to find A, B, C, D, and then you try to find, okay, A, B, C, D is there in the first substring. So, you know, the answer is 4. But then again, you find that E, F, G, H, I, which is part of string 2, is also there in string 1. So in that case, you're supposed to, in that case, obviously the length would be 5. So in that case, you're supposed to give the answer as 5. So again, the loop is running multiple times. A lot of people will think that, okay, the better way would be to apply 2 for loops and then compare each of the string, each of the position of the string. However, it would be better that you do it via recursion, right? So they're also checking the time complexity if in case a lot of people answer the question correctly, right? So if I'm to tell you a few questions as well, if you could just give me a moment, that they are asking. So the few questions that they are asking here would be program to find, count the number of words in a paragraph which start from a given specific character, right? So these are the type of programs they are asking. One of the person was also asked program based on linked list. One of the person was also asked program based on trees, right? So some people are being asked relatively easy questions. No, I'll not say relatively easy question, non-DSA type of questions, which are basically algorithm based questions. Some people are being asked DSA type of questions as well. So you know now that even if, so I am sure that by now people who are non-CS IT would have understood that even though you are non-CS and IT students, to get placed in an IT company, you need to know DSA. So make sure that you study DSA. One place that you can study DSA completely free would be our website. Our team would, you know, give the link of the same on our website, or you can go and find it on our website as well, right? So that's pretty much about it. So when we come to the part of the interview, you have variable interviews. For example, for some good colleges which are probably, let's say, in the top 100 or the top 150 colleges of India, they are directly taking in technical interview which lasts anywhere between 20 to 25 minutes and is online, right? For some colleges, there is an HR interview and technical interview as well. So HR is again 10 minutes, the technical again is 25 minutes, right? So mostly HR basics, they'll ask you puzzles, where do you see yourself after 5 years and all of those questions, right? In technical interview, I like to highlight this fact, 40% of the revenue of LTI comes from the industrial segment. That is, for example, LTI, L&T itself owns LTI, right? So they are a construction based company, and in fact it is, so every company has speciality of domain. So their specialty is construction and industrial production. In this case, they are kind of little favoring people who are from mechanical background. So that's it. But again, you need to know coding because you'll be going ahead and coding solutions for these construction or mechanical or production based companies, right? So again, your interview, they're focusing a lot upon projects. 10 marks out of 50 is based on certifications. Certifications, clear. They will check, do you have a certification in any good thing? Doesn't need to, so for EC people or mechanical people and others, it doesn't need to necessarily be in, let's say, Python or machine learning or data structures or things like that. It can be in your own domain as well. But again, it is very important for you to have certifications because again, 20% of the marks are for certification. Then again, 10 marks are for projects, 10 marks are for hold of procedural language, 10 marks is on communication, 10 marks is on overall confidence. So again, C, procedural language 10 marks, projects 10 marks, certifications 10 marks, your overall confidence 10 marks, right? So things like these. So again, which is very important. So this is in fact the third or the fourth company which is also taking marks on certifications this time, along with TCS, which does that every year, with Capgemini, which is also doing from this year. Also, this is like the almost like every company is now asking you data structures and object-oriented programming in C. So it's not like 5 years back from today wherein you're like, okay, you know C, you know how to reverse a digit of a number or know how to do palindrome, you are selected. No, you need to know object-oriented programming, DBMS, you need to know your data structures as well. And not just there, in the interview as well. It depends on your luck. Maybe the interviewer is like, okay, let me ask questions of DSA here also. So you can't say like, sir, I'm EC person or I'm mechanical person, I don't know DSA. You are applying for an IT based company. They are assuming that whatever time you had at home is more than enough. Even us CSE people or IT people have just studied one day before the exam and cleared all the subjects, right? So again, if you have 3-4 months, you can complete the whole engineering. And in fact, to name, you only need to do C, C++, DSA, OOPS is the same, and DBMS and software engineering. So there are 5 subjects that you need to do if you're non-CS and IT to get placed in an IT company. And then again, if you want to get placed in a product-based company, then competitive programming is another case. So that's pretty much about it. So again, how would you prepare for LTI, right? So we have this Prime Video course. Probably today we are not launching it. We are launching it within 1 day or so. I think the link would be provided in the description of below, right? So we are providing the whole aptitude section, the whole logical section, the verbal section, the whole C and C++ course is also given to you completely free. With the current course, we are also going to include DBMS as well in the future, as since they are asking you DBMS in the written exam as well. So if they're asking you anything, that particular course would be, apart from the basic aptitude, would be included completely free in the test as well. So you don't have to worry. The whole overall length of the online or the prime course that we provide is approximately 72 hours, and this is very specifically tailored and made for LTI itself, right? So I would recommend you to join it if you would like. A lot of people have joined the course for different companies already. We are just launching LTI as well. You could also buy something called as Royal Pass. So for example, you're like, okay, why just buy LTI? Obviously TCS would come, Wipro and LTH would come, Infosys would come. I also want certifications in machine learning, DSA, C, C++, and AMCAT, CoCube, Z-Litmus. So basically, Royal Pass is everything that Prep Insta has today, everything that we will have tomorrow. Let's say if we launch some web development course, right? So it's included in the Royal Pass. So everything that Prep Insta has would be in the Royal Pass. So again, if for LTI or Royal Pass, you can join any of the thing, right? Maybe if you join LTI and in future you want to buy Royal Pass, so you can pay the difference of the amount in the product of both of these things. You know, just have a call with our team and then they'll give you a link to pay the difference of the amount. Then again, we have to say a little bit of marketing as well. We obviously want to help you a lot with free things as well. But then again, since we are a company employing many people, right? So again, this has to be there. I hope that you understand this. So guys, all the very best for your LTI exam. I hope that you do it really well. This year it's going to be very difficult because of COVID-19 to get placed. So don't take any chances, right? Approximately, I assume 1.5 lakh people would be applying for a position and 7,000 to 8,000 offers would be given. Again, if you're from better college, the number of people getting selected would be high in your college. But then again, if you're not from so good college, maybe 5 people would be selected out of 200 or 5 people out of 400. So things like that. Also, LTI would be doing an off-campus drive sometime very soon. So make sure that you follow us on our Telegram, Instagram, WhatsApp and LinkedIn to get all the off-campus drive updates. And if you have any questions, make sure that you do comment in the comment section. Anyways, we have the top 3 comments of every video we give away our free Prime Video course completely free of cost to that particular student. So maybe you win as well. So thank you guys. I hope to see you soon. Make sure that you do subscribe to our YouTube channel as well.